Oh,
There we go.
Hey.
Yay!
And was Alex like, "Whoa, whoa, what NSYNC song is this?"
I just want an
Okay.
opportunity to be able to put my bass down and just go hit people in the crowd.
Why is your shit private, man? What are you hiding from us?
Woo.
Zach, you're a savage.
Part of why we came up with album name Tangled, because it's really like all these life events that people can experience, and it's a hot mess, but it's all very like relatable and real.
Welcome to Unshut, a place where if at any point you feel like you need to shut the up, don't.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? We're just getting ready here.
Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, you guys sound great. You look great. Good lighting, too.
You look great too.
I didn't even turn the ring light on. Hold on.
There we go. I was like, we got all the things. We got the ring light. We got the good background. All
Amazing, amazing. I'm like, man, that's either got to be the best ring light I've ever seen or really good sunlight.
We do
It's
have
both.
a pretty large window open over there.
It's literally both. And what's funny is like it's actually pouring down rain right
It is
now,
raining.
but it's like sunny. I feel like we're in the south.
I bet there's a rainbow somewhere.
It's like sunny and raining, and we got this natural light, and
So perfect. And you guys are in Denver, right? That's like Denver weather right now?
yeah,
It's been raining so much lately for some reason.
yeah.
Does it usually not rain this time of the year over there? Like this is like not normal?
Yeah, I'd say this is not normal. I feel like this kind of weather happens in the spring. Like spring is the most chaotic with like hail and rain and just kind of like all over the place. So yeah, definitely not how it should. We're all looking this way because we're literally staring out the window. But
There's,
like,
there's
yeah,
a little
it's-
squirrel
Your
climbing
favorite
around on
squirrel's
the
back.
patio.
yeah, totally not normal.
That
Like a-
squirrel just wants to be part of the episode, you know? It's looking for a
I
feature too.
know.
What'd you name
He
him?
probably could come in
I
here.
do.
You didn't name him yet?
Would
No,
Andrew
I
get
didn't.
mad if he came in?
We can't
Yes.
let the squirrel in Andrew's house.
Well, I'm super excited to talk with you guys. We have so much to talk about in regards to the new album, some questions I'm going to be throwing your way, obviously. But before we start, just for those that are going to be listening and not watching, voice recognition, please introduce yourselves and what you do in the band.
I want to go first.
Sure. So I'm Alex. I play drums in the band.
I'm Leah. I'm the lead vocalist in the band.
And I am Zach, and I play bass.
Amazing. I want to start off with you real quick, Alex, because I had seen something on Instagram that totally mind fucked me because I'm not a musician. For the record, I know nothing about what it's like to be a musician, but I saw something online about ticking sounds while you're playing live. Am I making shit up or am I on track with something?
Yeah, I think you're talking about like a click track, right? Like a metronome. It's kind of a hot debate in the music industry. I feel you have the old timers that are like, we don't play with backing tracks, we need to be able to feel the music, and it's all good and fine if you want to do it that way. But for our live show, it's a lot more dialed if we have that metronome constantly in our ears. And it kind of lets us set up shows where we're doing like a full program light show then too. So we've done that in the past, and everything is just synced. You have backing tracks synced, you have like pauses synced. So we literally press play on the computer, and the whole show program runs. Provided we don't get off. But I guess that's up to me.
That's entirely your fault.
But
Yeah.
that's what the clicks are. It's like a metronome
Yeah.
that Alex is able to hear, and also
Okay,
for
we
us,
all
too.
hear. You don't hear it.
I
The
do
rest
hear
of us
it.
hear
I
it.
do. I promise you, it's in my in-ears. I just am not always dialed in. But I
Yeah.
go off of what Alex is playing.
I suppose
so-
if you're not like
yeah.
used to hearing that, like the people's personal in-ear mixes could be like a mindfuck for sure. Because it's like that's a
Yeah.
lot going on, right?
I mean, I definitely didn't know that that was such a hot take with musicians, but I'll tell you what, for someone who knows shit about this, okay, I saw that video and I was like, they're fucking professionals. This is true professionals right here. That is so crazy because, I mean, that's a lot to coordinate within the sound, your own rhythm, your own feeling, plus those ticks. I'm like, I was so mind blown. So I needed you to school me on that today. So sick.
And then some people like Andrew, he cues us in. Some bands go a lot farther with like, oh, we're entering chorus 1, 2, 3. But like, Andrew just does what the next song is and like counts us in.
Yeah.
But some other bands, they go wild with the vocal cues too.
friends.
is
One, two,
total
three,
joy.
four.
So sick. And what about you, Zach? How long have you been playing the bass? I want to talk to you about that real quick.
Oh God. I think I got my first bass in like 7th grade, but I didn't start playing like seriously and with other people until like 2013 or 2014 or so. It's been a little while now.
Since the 7th grade, have you always just been tossing your bass into the case?
No, that was I'm still so surprised with how wild that video went. Because I made that in like 5 minutes to reply to a video Andrew sent in our group chat, just as a joke for us.
Yeah.
And no, I don't throw any of my basses except that one, because that was the one we trashed for the Halothane video.
But I think we realized too how many bases throw their bass in the case, because
Apparently it's a
that's like, I feel like what blew it up is it was so relatable, and then we were kind of shocked, like, oh my gosh, this is like an actual bassist like stereotype. What the hell?
I
Like-
keep both my main and backup bass in hard cases, and I treat them very nicely. And there were a lot of people in the comments of that. They were like, "Oh yeah, I just like throw mine in the trunk without a case." And I was like,
Yeah.
"That's wild, but
Heathens.
hell yeah."
This is nice and tight, so this doesn't move around at all. And then this is all nicely round up. And this is just over here in this corner. Nothing's like super tight or pressing against the guitar.
So you can confirm you don't do that.
I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't baby it. It has its dings and dents, like
Hey,
when.
so, a lot of people pay extra for that now.
Yeah. You know, a 70-year-old man would pay a lot of money to have a beat up guitar.
I'm telling you right now, if merch was so normal to have like beat up instruments that they were using before on the road, that is some shit I would collect in my studio 1000%.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to get rid of my bass once it gets like super beat up on the road. You got so many memories and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'd be sad to see it go.
So sick. And what about you, Leah? When did this musical journey start for you?
For me, it started honestly since I was like 15 or 16 years old. I have
And I'm
like,
sorry, I don't mean to stop you real quick. Are you guys hearing that feedback or like some sound that's like, it's like zzz?
I think so.
Or is that the AC unit?
I'll be right back.
It's some
Okay.
It should be off at like any moment. I know because I've messed with this thing, so I apologize.
Oh.
There we go.
Hey!
Yay! But yeah, so continuing on. So I have, been playing ever since, or singing since I was like 15 or 16. And I think for me, like the moment I realized like, dang, I like really want to do this. For my 16th birthday party, there was this venue called Queen Bee's. I'm from San Diego, and it was like a local venue there. And what I decided to do was a whole birthday party at that venue, and little 16 me and my band members at the time, we played a show in front of like all of our best friends, and it was like the most like hands down like fun time I've ever had, just like being up on that stage and like playing with that, or playing for my friends. Like we had cake, and like it was just like a whole thing, and I was like, dang, like this is so fun. I'm like playing up on stage with my best friends, and like I'm performing to my best friend. So yeah, since then I've like literally never looked back, and have like always played in different bands.
Do you feel like that impression, that feeling, I mean, hearing you talk about, watching you talk about that, you're smiling, you're glowing. Do you feel that that set the impression to where you are today? You're enjoying this process with your best friends, making music. Do you think that had anything to do with that?
Yeah, 100%. And I know that because in my entirety of my music career, I've only been a solo artist one time, and I quickly realized this isn't for me. And I went back to being in bands, and since then I've like never done anything different. Like there's just something so special. It's almost like a chemistry. Like there's a certain chemistry of like playing with your best friends that you just can't get when you're by yourself, or even as a solo artist with like people to back you up. Like it's just not the same.
Well, and I think it also says a lot when you're able to be with members that choose you, right? Like you choose each other when you're flopping, when a song doesn't get any streams, when a song gets a fuck ton of streams, but you continue to choose each other. I feel like that foundation is so important in bands. So I absolutely love that. I want to talk about Instagram real quick. Zach, why is your shit private, man? What are you hiding from us?
Heyo.
Put him on blast there.
I have posted on Instagram, I believe, twice in the last 5 or 6 years.
Are you sure?
I pretty much exclusively use the band Instagram account and the band TikTok account, the band YouTube account. If you notice the algorithms getting messed up on any of those, it's just because I use them as my own personal things now. So I don't want to have to go about managing 2 different accounts because it's annoying, right?
It is annoying. If anybody wants to see Zach's account, let me know. I can forward all the screenshots. I can probably pull it up now if anybody really wants to see it.
There's
For those
nothing
ultra
interesting.
Ultra Zach fans
The ultra
out there.
Zach fans out
I
there.
think the only things I've posted
Hit me up.
pictures
I'll get you hooked up.
the dog and some pictures of my car, and then nothing since like January of 2019.
Interesting. Well, we're definitely going to talk about the Zach fans here in a little bit, but I want to jump over to you, Alex, real quick. So my name is also Alex. It's my middle name, Alexander. And on Instagram, I go by the name Gimme Mo Alex. And I took that because I thought I was so fucking unique, but I wasn't. But it's from Britney Spears. So because your name is Alex too, I wanted to ask you this random question real quick. If you could take a Britney Spears song and cover it with the band, what song are you picking?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Please, I want to do Tom.
No, let him choose. Let you have
I'm
to choose.
influencing him.
Don't.
It's
This
okay.
is unbiased.
Well, I might need to pull the crowd because I don't know a ton of Britney Spears material. What's the one that's like bye 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 bye?
That's
That's
It's
oh my god, what's the other one I'm thinking of?
No, I think you're thinking
Oh
of
my
Oh
God.
Baby, Baby.
Yeah, Baby, Baby.
Yeah, that one.
Oh baby, yeah, that one. What's that one?
God.
Isn't it Hit Me
One
Baby, One
More
More
Time?
Time?
Alex, I hope you're straight because that was the straightest response ever.
And what's your joke? What's your band joke? Yeah, okay. You guys get
You're doing great, bud.
That was amazing. Zach, is there a song or an artist outside of the band's genre on your playlist right now?
There's a lot. I think out of all of us, I listen to the least like strictly pop punk. I grew up more of like a metalcore kid in the good old Christcore days of like Under Oath, Devil Wears Prada. I was listening to Enter Shikari on the way here. There's a lot of things with breakdowns in them, and someday we're gonna put a breakdown in a song.
Hell yeah, very cool. I'm also waiting to see what timing it's going to take for Alex to stop turning red.
Can you see it? Is it affecting the lighting?
I will let you know.
Flattered that
It'll
you
never
called him
stop.
straight.
I haven't been called straight in so long in this band, so thank you. All the fans, I am single and looking.
You've got me blushing over here. I'm turning red.
It's that connection all of us Alexes have together.
Dude, 100%. Leah, is there an artist outside of the band's genre that you would like to manifest on the show today on who you would like to collab with?
Ooh, okay. I have so many, but can I bring up a band that's like no longer together? Is that
Totally.
okay? I would have to say hands down Panic at the Disco.
Yeah,
Dude.
Oh my gosh, like Brendan Usery's voice is like a saint, and like literally I grew up listening to like A Fever Can't Sweat Out was like their first album to like Pretty Odd, and just like honestly like they have so many different genres, but like that's a lot of like where I draw from and like what I listen to. I love it. Yeah.
Dude, my partner and I were just going down that memory lane recently. Fucking love that album. So I'm gonna
the
manifest with
best.
you. Yes.
It's the best.
Absolutely. We definitely couldn't talk about music and everything that you guys are doing without bringing up this Female Fest thing that I saw online. I just looked it up today, so this was brand new to my notes right now, so I'm freestyling a little bit. But how did that get started? Because I think that is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I'll take it because this was actually started before you guys.
I was not in
even
the band.
joined. Yeah, you were actually the guitarist.
I got
which was
to, yeah, I got
interesting.
to.
But yeah, it all started started with honestly just an idea that I had. I'm so big on the community, but my biggest thing was like how to tie in and support women in music, because I feel like a lot of that isn't shown in the spotlight, especially when you take it another step and like, you know, and you have pop punk as well. Like that's just something that is very much in the unknown. And so I wanted to amplify like women in music and like bring as many different like creatives and like businesses and, you know, influencers like all together in one room and like create something like super special, super magical. And so I worked together with this woman who like has a lot of connections, and me and her ended up creating what was then the Female Fronted Fest. And it was probably the biggest project I've ever done, but it was the most like rewarding project ever. Like we ended up having like several female fronted bands that played on stage. We had female businesses that set up shops so like people could support that way. We had a nonprofit organization that helps women in need, so then people could give back and donate. And then we also had some fun things like podcasters that were there as well to interview some of those bands, and then obviously like food and drinks. But what was also really unique too is we made it a free event, because that kind of ties in with that like all inclusiveness and like supporting and bringing as many people as possible. And yeah, it was like one of the best things I've ever done for myself and for the community.
So amazing. I had no idea about those details. Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything from that chapter, from pursuing that you were able to take on into the band in regards to running something like a business almost, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, for sure. I think from that, what I have really thought about, and I've talked to the guys too about, is like looking at a show where it's not necessarily focused on us being the incentive for people to come to a show, but more of like an idea, right? So like, for example, like an emo night, like they're not necessarily coming to see Capture This, but they're coming to see and hear pop punk music. And then obviously just so happens we're there, and then they can learn about our band that way. So kind of like selling and leading with the idea first versus like the band.
That is so genius, and I absolutely love that approach. I love that approach. So sick. Well, speaking of lessons real quick, there was something you guys had talked about in an interview in regards to making a drive from Colorado to California for one show. And so, in honor of money poorly spent but making good memories, are you guys ready?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I'm going to start off with you, Zach. What's a good memory that comes to mind that came from a poor decision?
Ooh.
Oh, we've had a lot of those. I think the entire journey we had from, was it Denver to Albuquerque to Colorado Springs and then back to Denver. How long had we been in the band? A couple of months?
It was really soon. Yeah,
it was really early.
A month and a half.
Yeah, so it was going on.
Two.
It was, what is that, 20 hours ish of driving probably in a
we were a 5-piece at that time.
In a Hyundai Kona.
Oh my God.
With basically some complete strangers that I met on Craigslist.
Exactly, yeah.
And
AKA us.
Yeah, and it ended up being phenomenal. I had a great time. I can't wait to do it again in a much larger vehicle.
So sick. What about you, Alex?
Oh man, we never make bad decisions.
Only
calling a Britney Spears song in sync. I'm just kidding.
I was literally gonna.
This is great because I can always just be like, woo.
All right, so we're looking for a drummer now.
I'm gonna have to come back to this one because I don't know if I have anything. It was what's a bad decision that turned out good?
Yeah, that made for good memories or something.
I mean, I do remember on that trip we decided to drink a little bit. There were in Albuquerque specifically. We were at Launchpad. It's super cool venue. But there were some folks there that like really liked the set. So we had these folks buying everybody shots, and like the bartender decided, hey, I'm gonna buy you guys a couple rounds too. And we just got to chatting, and like before we were loaded out of the venue, I was gone. And then everybody else is trying to go to sleep when we get to the hotel. Not me. I was like having a grand old time. And
would
I
not
have
shut
fun.
up.
I don't know
I
about
to
you
be
guys.
well, I was gonna say to be factual, I was like DD. I was like not drinking.
Yeah.
And so like you kept talking, I was like, oh my gosh, Alex,
You
like
shut up.
this is like 1 a.m. Like we need to go to sleep. Like yeah.
That is hilarious.
That was like the funniest thing ever. I was like,
that
I'm
was
so
fun.
glad you
That
like
was
did that
fun.
and like just let loose.
Yeah.
Dude, and see, and without those poor drinking decisions, you wouldn't have that story to tell today. So see, there you go.
We're gonna say we can't do that as much anymore now that we're all old.
Yeah, no, I'm like 2 beers.
No, you still
think
can.
about a third one, get a headache, go home.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sleep terribly.
Yeah.
Do it again.
So funny. Well, Leah, I know you were the one that I think had shared that story in an interview. And so I'm curious to ask you today in 2025, would you do it all over again just that way?
All that way. Sorry, you stumped me there. Oh, man, that's hard. I would say this is brutal, but I would say no, and only because like even though those things made I'm sorry, that's even
Okay.
though okay, but hear me out. Like even though they made great memories, I do feel like we learned a lot too. Like, and I know it's like super vague to say, but like we really did learn a lot. And I think like now, you know, as we're planning like potential tours for next year, even like we are like planning more, right? On like how much merch, just the small little things, like how much merch for inventory, like days, like to get to and from like one state to the other, like where we're gonna sleep, like just all those details of like planning a little bit more.
No, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. And something that I'm kind of gathering just from hearing you talk real quick, I had put something in my notes that I'm going to share with you, Leah. I had wrote that in regards to you being the one that made the Craigslist post, first of all, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I wrote, the impression she gives me is that she constantly takes initiative. She sets the tone, first time feeling empowerment by being the one to take the leading chance at this, if that makes sense at all.
No, it totally does. I almost want to put that on the guy. Like, no, but
That's
like,
going on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
when we get one.
but that is very much, I think, my mentality. Like, I've always been like really ambitious and like know what I want and just very strong-headed.
And we hope you hold on to that for sure. What was your first impression of seeing a female empowered persona that kind of made you feel inspired by that? I'll start off with you with that one, Leah.
I would say for me it was Demi Lovato for like so many reasons. Like I first off like grew up like watching her, like the show she was in on Disney Channel. So like from a young age I've always looked up to her and just have seen her grow and develop so much as a person. And I think she's so powerful with like just musically and what she talks about. Like she has always like led with her opinion, her voice, stood up for what she feels is right, is so vulnerable. And then in her music, she's just a freaking powerhouse. And I can hear that in all of her music. So for me, she just screams women empowerment, and I just have always looked up to her.
Okay, I'm covered in goosebumps real quick because the last thing I watched before hopping on this call was this video that Demi Lovato was talking with Trisha Paytas on TikTok, and she's talking about just her journey with Barney, Disney, music, and all I kept thinking about was, man, like regardless of what wreckage of a passage she had in life, showing people grace is so important because it's, first of all, it's their journey, but two, when people start to give themselves grace, it starts to show. And all I kept thinking while watching this video was, man, her glow up is even better now because she's showing herself grace. So crazy that you talked about that.
I know, what are the chances? But yeah, 1,000% I agree. Like she really, I know, has had a crazy past, and like going from that to like what she is today, like she's done so much inner self work, and I'm like, that's my girl. I'm proud of you. Like,
Totally. What about you, Zach? What was your first impression of feeling empowered by a female persona? Because, I mean, obviously now you're in this powerhouse of a group with a female leader, right? So what is yours?
I gotta go with Hayley Williams. Every female-fronted band will get the Paramore comparisons. It's what happens.
It's part of the game.
But there's a reason for it. She was one of the first ones to do it in the scene. Huge influential figure. Still doing it to this day. never afraid to speak her mind on things that are going on in the world outside of music as well. Paramore has written some of the best albums of all time, and they've all been different, and they're one of the few bands I think that have really done that and had success changing their sound throughout the time and evolving so much as they have.
Dude, 100%. And now I'm totally curious to ask you this real quick. Whenever you guys get, or if you have ever received the Paramore comparison, is there a different take between, for example, Zach and Leah? Do you both take it differently? As in, like, Leah, do you take it a little bit more like personal versus you, Zach? Maybe you take it like that's such a huge compliment, or do you both see it as such a huge compliment? I'm just curious if there's a little bit of a difference there.
I would say I actually take it as a compliment because I think, and maybe that's just because I understand that in this genre, it's so niche. And so, when people think of the greatest pop punk band that's female fronted, they think of Paramore because that's what they know. And I also think they're like one of the greatest bands too. So for me, it's just that, yeah, it's a compliment for sure.
I think I also usually view it as a compliment because for the most part, that's the way that people mean it.
Yeah.
There's definitely some where you're like, okay, you just were like, girl, Paramore.
Yeah.
That one
Like,
does
they
happen.
just-
Like
Some
for
people troll us with
for
it.
self-sabotage, people were like, oh, this sounds just like Paramore. And I'm like, no, this is an Evanescence song.
Yeah, we got the evidence.
We're ripping off Amy Lee, not Haley Williams.
Every time we get too close, I run away faster. We're good, and then it's a disaster. That's where I self-sabotage. You don't see the cracks like I do. I find a way to criticize you. That's where I self-sabotage.
Dude, so fucking amazing. I love that. What about you, Alex?
So for women empowerment, I was honestly thinking of like some of my first music teachers in school. I grew up in Wisconsin and we had like an incredible music program through all the schools, all the way from elementary to high school. From band teachers to choir teachers to some of the extracurriculars in summer school. Like I can count like a handful of female teachers that were like second moms, like they were everything. Because, it's the first time you kind of learned like music as an emotional outlet there too. And it's like, hey, we can feel things with all of these people in the room while we're singing. We can emote with this. Like, that's so cool. And that was like one of the first places I think I realized, what it meant to feel things as a big group. And through music, it got me hooked too. So,
Alex, have you ever reached out to any of them?
I have. I keep in touch occasionally with a couple, but I probably should go back and thank them for all their hard work and inspiration.
That is so sweet and so refreshing to hear. And first of all, thank you guys so much for talking about that, because I think that not only is it just the obvious message, right, with having a female singer, the female front woman of this band, right, but I think that it also shows that the empowerment is not just self-centered. It's also your bandmate supporting the front woman of basically the show. And I love that because I don't think that's done enough. I think that sometimes whether you're male or female, once you're the front man or the front woman, you're just perceived as the center of it all. And no one really ever takes the message from the bandmates that are surrounding that front and center person. So I love to hear those stories from you guys for sure.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something real quick with you guys. Leah, you had made some posts on Instagram that you talked about Would You Rather. And so in honor of those videos, this is going to be Would You Rather on Unshut. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Let's do this.
Go.
All right, so the first one's for you, Leah. Would you rather lip sync for an entire year but perform with your favorite bands, or sing live for a year to an audience of 0?
That's what we do anyway.
Oh, that's hard. That's damn.
So we're talking about, what's happening now, or...
I'm like, do you want to be fake or not fake?
Zach, you're a savage.
I'm just realistic.
You are
He's the
savage.
sassy boy hired.
The personality
Oh my
hire.
gosh. Okay, this is sound crazy, but I actually would rather sing my actual voice into a crowd of 0 because it just is the most authentic thing and real thing to do. it just wouldn't feel right to lip sing in front of hundreds of people. It would just feel like they're buying something they're paying for something that's not real.
Dude,
Yeah.
this is why you guys, in my opinion, are such the real fucking deal, because that answer alone, it really is so telling. Because how do some of these bands expect to ever perform in front of 10, 20, 55,000 people if they cannot perform solo or to a show of two? So I love to hear that for sure.
Totally agree. Yeah.
So sick. The next one's for you, Alex. Would you rather quit the band or stay on as lead vocalist?
Damn.
Oh, that's tough. Am I allowed to join another band?
No.
Hey,
Absolutely not. We're not going to
No,
capture
not-
this like that.
I think I would stay in and give it a shot. I don't think I could quit music cold turkey.
So
for,
stealing
for
me,
that.
my role.
We could just switch.
you
You want to play drums? It'd be fun.
I'm not good though.
Well, me neither, but we can figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Actually, a little freakier Friday thing would be kind of cool right there. That'd be sick.
Yeah, do the
Okay,
swap.
I'm down.
The old swap-a-roo.
Amazing. The last one I have is for you, Zach. Would you rather go bald forever or post feet content forever?
Yeah!
I don't know that I have a choice. I'm already.
Foot content.
It's going back.
All right, everybody,
that's why
ready?
I have the long hair, and
Where's
that
the stairs? Coming down.
Hey,
Ready?
hey, come out
No.
here. This is why this is the view you get when we're at shows, because otherwise you can see the middle of my damn head.
Which one?
I would love to have my hair back, or just have it not leave. Alex, you can post pictures of my feet on the Instagram.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks. There's verbal authorization.
I regret this already.
So that's exactly where I got that question from, because someone posted a video on Instagram that was like something about the bassist unsolicited foot or something, and it's just swinging. Was that you, Alex?
Yeah,
Well, it all started completely randomly because I film a lot of the random content for the band, and so I'll just go around and do one long take of stuff, and the phone will eventually trail downwards. And all of a sudden, Zach's like, "Why are you filming my feet? You got a thing for feet or something?" And
I don't like
like
wearing shoes.
which is fair, but it was unintentional. So now I'm just kind of going through this trope, which is funny. I'm loving it. I love the trope.
That makes one of them.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for going along with some of this nonsense. It'll make good for clips. Actually, Zach, I am going to turn one of your reactions into a fucking meme because it was the most iconic. And I'm not going to tell you which one, but you made a reaction earlier today that it is forever engraved in my mind. And I can't wait for you to see it when this airs. But we have to talk about this new album. Tangled is this new project. How did this come to life? At what point did we start to pursue, let's do an album instead of dropping new singles? Let's start there.
The first song that we all wrote together and recorded together as an original was Empty, with the current lineup of the band. And we did that up at the Blasting Room in Fort Collins. It was our first time at the studio up there. And it was, we were just like, let's see, if it's worth the money, we'll go up, we'll see what happens. And we got that back, and we were like, okay, so we need to go do that a lot more times. Then we did another trip up, was it Halothane second?
Yeah, I think it was second.
Then it was Halothane. Then we did Other Side and Self-Sabotage together. And then Money,
last three.
Shouldn't Be, and Mess together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we were going up for the last three, we were like, we should take all of these, put it in, this deserves to be a product, not just a bunch of singles that are just spread out all willy-nilly. Because we had the same person at the Blasting Room do all the mastering. We had the same person do all the engineering, producing, recording, mixing. So I think it ended up being a pretty consistent sound through all of it, which made it feel good as a whole CD to listen through.
And I also want to add too, like, I think I'm just looking at things like lyrically. Each individual song has such a different message and different story, which is why I think part of why we came up with the album name Tangled, because it's really like all these life events that people can experience. And it's a hot mess, but it's all very like relatable and real. And so I think that when we were kind of like looking at, okay, what should the album name be? That was the one like eureka moment. Like, wow, these are all these little stories on its own. And it's one jumbled, big, beautiful, like tangled mess that's like raw and real.
Writing letters to my friends on the bathroom floor. Every day's like the same, it's like before. Sleeping pills are my escape. I can feel you. Every time I close my eyes, I see a life that's better than the lies that I tell myself. I'm waking up to dread again. Can't get myself out of bed. I see a life that's better than the lies, and I tell myself I'm fine.
What about you, Alex? What's your take on how all this turned out to be?
Yeah, I think it came together really well and exceeded all of our expectations. Coming into our current lineup, we were kind of thinking about like, hey, where do we want to take this? Like, what style do we want to go with? Because me and Andrew, when we first start demoing things, we kind of write like pretty different. I come from more of like a slightly harder rock background. Andrew's like square pop punk. I mean, you kind of come from like a little bit of, you know, pop and country too. So like we've got all these different influences coming together on demos. And so, you know, we've got like, I don't know, between 50 and 100, probably even more than that, demos at any given time, just like ideas, riffs, like a chorus here, a line here. And so when we started like working down, hey, what songs, you know, might package well together, it's like, well, we got like 2 that are kind of heavier, we got like 2 that are square and pop punk, we got like kind of a ballady one, like maybe this will work. And they all ended up sounding like very resoundingly like Capture This. And so, yeah, I'm super, super glad it's finally out in the world and that people are enjoying it.
Would you guys say that it's safe to say that it was the fact that you guys tapped into that groove of like, let's go back and get that feeling we got when we went to Fort Collins, made that first one, that made this project what it turned out to be? Because hearing you talk about this, Leah, I noticed that I'm like, wow, you're absolutely right, dude. Like every song is so different, but somehow there's a common theme that's a little bit difficult to pinpoint, but you know it fucking hits. Every song is not the same. It's not like one of those albums where you hear beginning to end and it's like overly cohesive, if that makes sense. Do you guys think that had anything to do with it?
Honestly, no, but like now that you bring it up, I think like that also like makes like I think that also fits in with the theme too, because you're right. Like I've totally agree. I've heard albums where it's like you hear start to finish and you're like, wow, these 10 songs could be one giant 20-minute song that just never stops. But I feel like with this album, you truly listen to like each one and it is an entirely different, just, yeah, theme, like musically different, like emotionally different. Like you can tell each piece is so different. And yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
I love it so much. It's so good. And I've got to be very honest with you guys. I wasn't going to say this on record, but I'm just going to call myself out. I had been having like the craziest, most gnarliest past couple of months. And so when it came to booking with you guys, I'm like, man, I think I'm going to have to reschedule and push them out to December and see if they're willing to air in January. And I was having just one of those days where I'm like, you know what? I need to go and just do some deep dives on some of these bands I've got coming up. Your guys' was the first album I played, and I was like, absolutely fucking not. I am not waiting until December. I am having them on as soon as possible. And I get goosebumps just saying it because it truly was meant to be. And I'm also going to put my partner on the spot. When I was telling him, I'm like, dude, I have so much going on. He was like, you know what though? Keep them scheduled because I guarantee you their energy is going to be unmatched. And sure as shit, your energy is so fucking unmatched, you guys. The universe definitely is so beautiful. So I love it so much. I'm glad you guys put it out. Thanks for letting me rant and making it about myself for a little bit.
Oh, like I love that so much. I literally have ear to ear grin. Like that truly like warms our heart. And like literally I feel like every time I hear like people like you or anyone else like say like, oh my gosh, like the music helped me change, you know, in one way or another. Like It literally, that's like the best thing to hear. Like, it honestly is the reason like why I also keep doing this. Like, because I it's my therapy, and like it's other people's therapy too, and like, or inspiration, you know? So like I love that so much. I love
Well,
it.
I hope you guys never stop. And I want to start off with you real quick, Zach. What is something that you would like to see the band tackle for the next project? I know it's a little bit too soon to say, we won't hold you to it, but what are some either topics or genre bending? What is something that you would like to see happen with the band in the future?
So I think for the next recordings, I definitely want more synth, more electronic elements, because we started adding more of that into the later songs on the album, like Money and Shouldn't Be. That one has some, but like the really heavy synth is mostly in Money and Shouldn't
forward
Be.
synth. Yeah.
And I really like that. It's really dancey. The disco beat in Money is one of my favorite things that we've put in a song yet.
Dude, I fucking love it so much too.
Good. I took him to a little emo show, and they were playing a disco beat, and I was like, "That's ours now. We're going to the studio, and you're playing that."
And was Alex like, "Oh, whoa, what NSYNC song is this?" I'm just kidding.
Britney Spears.
Backstreet, somebody.
Actually, somebody.
So awesome.
Yeah, definitely more electronic stuff. I want to break down in one song. I just want an opportunity to be able to put my bass down and just go hit people in the crowd.
Fuck yeah.
That's fair.
Absolutely.
I want a song to stage dive to.
Get the
We need
energy
one
going.
in the set. That's it.
Okay, deal. That's fine.
Amazing. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, so I think for me, I would like to try to tap into it. I know it's not even my wheelhouse necessarily. It's more for you, Leah. But like, I don't do a ton of the lyric writing, but I can get in that headspace of like, hey, I want to write to maybe an experience that I'm not going through, but like, let's write a story about it. And I can fully dive into that story and take a place of that character and like write a whole song and a mood and a feel and like actually believe it. So then it's not limited by like our personal experiences. And I know we've got a ton of, life experience already, just the four of us, but like being able to build out like from more of a storytelling perspective and then also sell that emotion in the studio is a skill I'd like to work on as a group.
Alex, do you think that not being the writer and hearing these songs come to life from a perspective of someone else that writes has made you somewhat more of like an empath in regards to being able to hear other people and their feelings, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, I think so. And I think like part of that is why music is so beautiful too, because most of the times I'll listen through a song the first time, I'll get a vibe, I'll get an emotion attached to it, but it'll take me, 5, 6, 7 listens to actually listen to the lyrics, right? And then you finally listen to the lyrics and you're like, oh, that's what that song's about. And sometimes it matches that emotion and sometimes it doesn't. And like, that's fine. But when lyrics are vague enough, I guess you can kind of assign, that story to whatever emotion a little better. But yeah, I think it just helps you become a more well-rounded musician too, in general. But
Absolutely. What about you, Leah? What's something you would like to see the band tackle in the future projects?
I would say writing more ballads. I mean, we are a pop punk band, and like, so there's always the assumption that it's like more of that fast paced, high energy. But I think what would be really cool is like at least writing one solid like powerhouse ballad that's got some like rock and like deep emotion, but then is more of that like slower paced, just something a little bit more intimate. And I think even for shows too, like that could look so cool as like a show design or set design where like we're playing this fast energy song that's halothane, and then it switches into like something now that's more stripped down down and like raw and like giving the audience that. So I definitely want to do something like that.
Well, I think you explained it so beautifully because that's what shows and just music should be in general. It should take you through this roller coaster, those ups and downs. It's also a really good way to keep people engaged and captivated. So definitely looking forward to see what you guys are going to be working in the future. And the way I want to outro with you guys is I had seen a video where someone had posted a clip of your guys' song. Someone was recording, I think it was Alex that was driving, or maybe it was Zach, I don't remember. But someone was recording with your guys' song playing, but they weren't singing that song. And so I think the caption said something about like when you're listening to your own song, but you don't know the lyrics. Do you guys know what video I'm talking about?
I was driving. People made fun of my posture. Yeah, well, I was sitting like this because otherwise I can't see out of the damn windshield. But no, I was singing probably.
It was Panic.
I think it was Bill God from Panic at the Disco off Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Because my favorite thing to do if there's a long drive, we were on our way back from Cheyenne?
Yeah, Cheyenne, Wyoming.
On a long drive, I like to just toss on A Fever You Can't Sweat Out in its entirety and just sing along to the whole thing.
It.
We've done that multiple times. So that's what I was doing, and he is always trying to get content, which we are grateful for because it's hard.
It's just like, how can we come up with some other stupid meme for engagement?
But you do know the words to our songs, right?
I know the sounds. I don't necessarily know the words. I know the melodies, and I could like make the noises, but I don't know what the words you're saying are.
Okay.
I can't. I don't hear great.
Well, then this is going to be perfect because in honor of that video, I want to outro in a way we've never outroed on the show before. And so I'll let you guys decide what you want to say, who wants to do it. But I want one person on the camera pretending to know what you're saying while someone else is off the camera saying the outro. This is who we are. This is where you can find us. This is where you can stream our music. But you don't know how they're going to say it. So you're just going to lip sync to whatever voice is coming onto the video. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Do you want to do the outro and I can sit here like this to emulate the video?
Perfect.
Yeah, you got to go over there and talk.
I can do
Is
that.
Alex allowed to be here or does he
Totally.
Okay,
Get in here.
Come here.
All right, you ready?
1, 2, 3. This is Capture This. You can check us out on social media, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, and Apple Music. And we just released a new album called Tangled. Make sure you check it out and see us at a show coming to you.
Smash that like button, smash subscribe.
All right.
Hell yes.
That was
Amazing.
Brilliant idea.
That was great.
So awesome. Thank you guys so much for going along with all the shenanigans. Thank you so much for talking about this new album that I absolutely adore. I guess the last thing that you can do now for sure is just wave to the camera because your outro's already done. So thank you so much for your time, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Nice chatting with you guys. We'll be in touch, okay?
Sounds great. Thanks.
Bye. Take care, you guys. Hey, if you've made it this far, don't forget to follow the socials on the screen or in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next week.